me old Michael Graham, for coming on Shattuck Show this morning.
That's fun.
Yeah, he's always good. He's always good. A lot of people don't agree with him. A lot of he's touched by the Never Trump virus emotionally this year more than he had been. So I try to steer clear from straight on Trump talk, but he went up.
Is he like moderating a little now that all his buddies like Jonah Goldberg and stuff are?
I think he is
I liking everything Trump's doing.
I think that's why we found that it was an appropriate time to chat so that words could be said, or else it would just be simply cross yelling for 20 minutes. But yes, I do tell people you should go to InsideSources.com, especially since I'm going to be in there very soon, Alice, with a shocking essay leading you into Independence Day. Many of you won't be all that surprised at my take on.
I have a feeling you're going to get some hate mail though.
Independence Day. It's a great talker for Independence Day. I mean, it should be like virally a good hit for like, I'm just thinking like if what's left of talk radio out there or podcasts. It's a good one. It's a good one. And then it comes if you've known me at any time.
Are you going to do a Shot of Shattuck show on July 4th? It's a Friday.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We'll see. We're still in the shakedown cruise period of things. So I'm still figuring it out. There's no reason why I can't. Are we going to be?
We may be in Vermont.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we'll be, but we'll see. We'll see. The only problem I have at all is humping equipment around. That's like the only big thing. All right, but we'll see. Okay, so we talked today about is it Mamadi?
Isn't it like Mamdami or something?
Mamdami. Okay, Mamdami.
I don't know.
Roran,
I don't think I've ever heard of Zoran.
Whatever. Just get normal names, okay? Friggin' sick of this.
I don't know that that's how to pronounce it. I've never heard it said by people.
What happened to the times when people would come over here and say, remember our friend, Adjilson?
Yeah.
Next door, who was from Brazil, and his name was Adjilson Villas-Boas. That was his whole name. Mm-hmm. But he's like, and his wife is American. He was Brazilian, and greatest guy in the world. And he's like, my name is Adjilson, and I said, Adjilson, just call me Junior. Just make. Why don't you just do the thing when you come over here? Just have an American name. Have one right there, right there immediately. So be Pete, Ron, Smith.
Lots of
Terry.
Asian people. I grew up with lots of Asian kids in Lexington, and like a lot of them had like a name that they were called at home by their immigrant parents, and a name that they used out in the world.
Yeah,
and a lot of their names were Alice. Actually, when I went to Center for Talented Youth Camp, there were 4 Alices there, and they were all Asian.
Well, I guess we're talking about the surname of this guy, right? They just make an American name. Oh God. Just it goes for it's not just and it has nothing to do with the race or anything. Just make it easy. Like there's a. Can you do me a favor?
But there's even been a ton of studies.
Can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you look up right now? Can you Google something for me? Google the mayor of Hartford, and I want you to say his name. Mayor of Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, I think I've seen.
This is why I had to leave radio.
Arunan Aralampalam.
I think. I'm not sure. I can't get through it. Just be Pete. Enough with that too. It's just stop it. We're not, we're not melting pot anything more now. We're cutting it off right here. Nothing more interesting.
No, you do want melting pot. But because you want assimilation, that's a melting pot. That's why a melting pot became an offensive phrase. So the play that I was in 5th grade for my elementary school, it was a play all about like Europeans immigrating to the United States, like through Ellis Island or whatever.
Yes.
And one of the songs was, "Oh, what have we got? We've got a great big melting pot." Mm-hmm. And one of the schools in the district changed it to, "Oh, what have we built? We've built a great big colorful quilt." Which is more annoying to say, but the idea being like if it's a melting pot, you're like melting everybody down and getting rid of their different cultures. Whereas if you're a great big colorful quilt, then everybody's still
Okay.
like distinct and different.
Have you heard of a gentleman named Apollos Riviere? Riviere.
No.
Apollos Riviere was a French Huguenot. How do you say that word?
Huguenot?
Huguenot.
I think. I don't know. I don't know words out loud.
Riviere
I just
was a
read
French
things.
Huguenot. Came to Boston at the age of 13. Apollos Riviere didn't have a son named Apollos Riviere.
Okay.
Guess what his son was named?
Something Rivers or something? Or
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. Oh. There we
Exactly. Just change the crap up to make it easy. Friggin' enough of this stuff. Nobody's interesting. Nobody's interesting. Stop being interesting. Oh my God. It's pathetic. And as a matter of fact, you know what? You should. I am gonna, and this has to do with all the dumb names like Ladanian too, and all those stupid names.
Who?
Ladanian, like
Oh.
yeah.
Well, that's what I was about to say before you cut me off. Was that there have been studies done on names, and not only do weird and unusual names have a strong association with like less success in life, but even unusual spellings of the same name
Right.
make you be less successful. Like if you're a GEO Jeff instead of a JE Jeff.
Then you're an
Like,
a-hole, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's, and this is a statistical argument, not a one-off argument. Before we get a bunch of Jeffs writing in and telling me that they're very successful despite their GEO,
Yeah.
but it's statistically even less common spellings of regular names are less. They're a hindrance in your life. A weird
Yes.
name is a hindrance, which
Yes.
is the reason why places like France, like, don't let you name your kid a bunch of stuff.
Well, that's
Like,
great.
it's just illegal. They're
Yeah,
like, you
if
can
in
be
America-
Sean, you can be
Yes.
Luke, you can
Yes.
be. There's no other options.
Absolutely, and that's how it should be. In America, like if your name is Denise, you are DENICE. No DE capital N. No Y's happening. No dollar signs happening. No Denise. There's no everybody. There should be about 30 names here, and everybody gets one of those boring ass names. And my feeling is this.
That's what they do in other countries.
My feeling is this, is that you don't get a free bingo space that is your name to make you a little bit special. No, you don't know. You haven't earned that. You haven't earned anything.
well, mostly it's parents trying to be a little bit special.
Yeah, well, right. But it's like this, oh, no, no, he's not. The kid is not special whatsoever. And you shouldn't get this free bingo space showing that you're special. If you want your name to mean something, then go out and do something that's amazing and have people know your name. Can you imagine? Like Karl Yastrzemski. Like the name Yastrzemski means something up here now because a guy, a son of Polish immigrants, I assume, did something.
Yeah, but he's probably even better known by Yaz, possibly.
Well, yeah.
So, speaking of making things
Alice,
simple,
why do you think they were calling him Yaz, probably?
because that's a pain in the neck name.
Because nobody could understand how to say the people he needed to impress weren't saying it. Be nice. Your name should suck. That's what I'm saying. Your name should suck. Your name should be like you have Alice, which is now like a quaint, kind of cool name, especially since you're borderline hot sometimes, and so it's like kind of a, it's a what's that called when there's two different things? It's a conundrum. It's a
I feel bad for Peter. Should we have Sally grab him?
yes. Have Sally grab him.
I don't mind.
Sally, can you grab Peter and hang out with him for a bit? Thank you. But like nice. You know what a perfectly boring name is Thomas. And James, my brother's name too. James is a little better than Thomas. Like Tom. Ugh. I mean, you got to do something with that. Everybody, all the bros in my texts there's another Tom there who's Tommy. You know, it's like we're dealing with mediocre names here, trying to make them a little bit more interesting by adding a Y. I'm Tommy. Steve, you know, that is a nice, bland, generic name. Steve Merrimack. Who else is on that? Tim, who I believe is really Tom. So there's three
You
Toms
can't
in that.
tell people that.
What if I doxed him by saying his name might be Tom? I'm not even sure I'm right. I didn't. He was exposed in KMS. There you go. There's another name. Kirk, Dave, Jerry, Callahan, who spells it with a G, which is a demerit, obviously. But like, God, just name it. Let's just make it simple. I don't know how do we get into this. Okay.
The soon to be mayor of New York's name. Zoran Mamdani.
Oh yeah, Zoran. Oh God. Oh, he's his own thing. If obviously he's an anti-Semite, he's all for the Intifada. He is all for. He's all for the. We know what he's for. We know that he is not a fan of the Jewish state. He is for.
Government-run grocery stores,
exactly.
rent freezing.
So I want to take the time out between you and I. There's a chance that he could suddenly need to be changed. Do you want to check that out?
I changed him.
And was it a dirty diaper?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
like not long ago, 15 minutes ago or whatever, I changed him, and it was a dirty diaper.
Okay.
So now he has a clean diaper.
Okay. So yeah, I don't like this guy. I think he's an arrogant, young, weird, anti-Semitic, pro-Intifada guy. I think he's a huge socialist who believes in all the wrong things in the world.
That being said,
the wrong people that are voting for him, it is not a good sign that young college-educated people, this is their thing now, are young anti-Semites who are into socialism. The people, of course, who would most benefit from these socialist policies didn't vote for him, don't like him. The poorest New York City dwellers don't like this guy.
All voted for Cuomo.
Right, all voted for Cuomo. But so one of the things I talked to Michael Graham today was like about how does this mind virus, will it end? How does it end at all? And this is kind of what I want to talk about here is how do we move on from all of these people on the left right now going gaga for this guy? And you can say that some of it's happening on the Trump side too. Sure, that's fine. But these people, the Trump people didn't suddenly adopt anti-Semitism and, from the river to the sea. They didn't. That's these people are doing this.
Well,
and so the thing he gave, I just want to play this cut of Graham. He thinks that it's simply a phase, and he equates it to something in the 60s. So I just want to play this for a second so people can hear this. And this full interview is on the Shattuck show.
Some people are going to have decided after whatever, 10, 12 years, I actually am a socialist, I am a communist, whatever Mamdani is, I am that. But I think a lot more people are going to kind of wake up. It's going to be, whoa, what? It's going. I compare it to. There was people don't know this, but there was a time in the United States in the late 60s and early 70s when mainstream upper middle class culture embraced wife swapping and orgies. It was such a thing that there were movies made about it. Tom and Carol and Ted and Al. I forget the name. Yeah, but yeah.
Bob and Carol and Ted and Al.
Bob, yeah, and there were magazine articles about it. There were key parties. I mean, this was a thing that normal people did. That college girls who went to upscale colleges did. You know, the free sex, free love movement was a thing. 5 years later, you couldn't find a woman who would admit that she did that.
I think there could be something to that, but I don't think that was based on emotional cratering.
Well, I do. So I think that the trans thing will be like that. Just like I think a lot of the COVID stuff is like that now, where most people pretend they didn't do a bunch of the COVID stuff, that they never bought into it.
Well, you do have some of the true believers who are still wearing the masks.
You do have them out there. But for the most part, those are the people in the Michael Graham analogy who decide they're truly socialists, right? Like, there are people who, but the vast majority of people have moved way on from COVID. Mm-hmm. They're not behaving like they were in 2020, 2021, and they probably don't think they ever did behave that way.
You think really that they don't think they behave that way?
Yeah, I don't think they remember thinking that. And I think the trans stuff will be like that too. I think that people will deny that they ever were for men playing women's sports and stuff like that. I think that surgeries on children, all these things. I think that they will. I think that it will be an embarrassing thing to have been for, or like lobotomies. I saw somebody recently on Twitter who just now discovered that the Kennedys lobotomized their daughter. And how horrific that is. And that stuff is out there, but that was a mainstream medical practice that was accepted at the time. But now everyone is horrified, but that wasn't that long ago. Like, there's a bunch of overlapping people still alive. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are people who were adults in the 60s or whenever that was that they did that, who are, like, still alive now, So these were things that were mainstream and normal. And then, like, people moved on from them and, like, a trend, right? And so that's the socialism. That's the Michael Graham point about the socialism thing. I don't think the whole socialism thing is like that, because I think a lot of these people already should have, like, grown out of this and haven't. I mean, do you have the Cynthia Nixon audio out there of her? It's incredible.
Well, she's got a hand in every pile here. The trans thing, the socialist thing.
Oh, yeah. And this is the other thing I was going to say about Zoran Mamdani, is that he does not like Jewish people and wants to globalize the Intifada. But he's not, people keep calling him a jihadist or saying, like, oh, did New York forget about 9/11 or whatever? And he's not strictly an Islamist fundamentalist, because he's progressive on, like, gay stuff and trans stuff. I mean, he's a progressive. He hates Israel not because he's Muslim. He hates Israel because he's a lefty progressive.
Right. He hates Israel the way Bowdoin College, in his case, and Columbia in New York tell you hate Israel.
Right.
It is election day. I'm on my way to vote. I don't know that I have ever been more excited to vote for anyone than I am to vote for Zoran Mamdani. I've got my button. I've got my Don't Rank Cuomo t-shirt, but I have them hidden because I'm going to a polling site. Zoran 1, Brad 2, Adrian 3, Stringer 4, Michael Blake 5. And whatever you do, don't rank Cuomo. Vote for Jumaane, vote for Justin Brannan. We have a chance to make sure that our corrupt, sexual harassing, Trump donor supported, disgraced former governor is not elected mayor of New York. And we have a chance, we're within the polling site now, we have a chance to elect Zoran to have fast free buses, to have rent stabilized apartments with the rent frozen. We have subsidized grocery stores, and we have free child care from ages 6 months to 5 years. We have a guy who will stand up to Trump, and we will have a guy who creates a city for all of us. Make sure you vote today and don't rank Cuomo.
So this brings me back to the reason somebody had tweeted out today that middle class white women are
it's
spent,
all the awfuls.
Bent on destroying the country.
The affluent white female liberals.
It totally is. It brings me back to 2017, September 28th of 2017, when I retweeted a tweet of a perfect example of a damaged and destructive white woman, Trenny Kuznarek, in Boston sports media, Trenny, who tweeted out, "Our pilot's name is Muhammad Ali. I love it. I wonder if he floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee at Delta." Oh. Can you imagine these people spending their whole lives having all sorts of feels and vibes? Oh, my feels and vibes are, his name is Zoran. It's not Mario. Oh.
Well, fortunately, he's fixing, what's Kamala's stepdaughter's name? Is Ella Emhoff?
Yes.
Is that it? He's helping to heal her trauma from the last major election that she voted in, because she's been going through that, obviously. So
how freaking broken was that? In video or just?
Yeah, it's video.
Okay, here we go.
Hope, right? You know, I'm feeling a little trauma walking to the same polling station that I did to vote for Kamala, and you know, I'm just feeling a lot of hope right now. We did it. I'm feeling a huge mix of emotions. I'm really nervous, but I'm also so hopeful. It's been so spectacular seeing New York come together in this way and rally behind Zoran, and Yeah, let's fucking do this, guys.
Oh, walking around a tatted up, like miserable looking thing, white in her 20s with an I voted sticker is. I would rather see the Germans blitzkrieging into my town than see these people make decisions. Oh my God. Oh, awful. Awful.
So good luck, New York. But what's crazy is that a bunch of like serious political analysts and consultants have decided, and in this way, this couldn't really be better for Republicans in any way, but a bunch of them have decided that that the lessons from this campaign, from a Democratic primary from New York, should be taken now nationwide. That this is the cure. They've been struggling to find a way out of their rut since Joe Biden and Kamala and the terrible election of 2024 and all the bad things that happened to them and all the bad things Trump's doing. And they don't know how to like start winning elections again. They can't rally together. They can't win people back over. They feel that they have found the secret now.
Yes.
Now we have the winning formula.
This is Peter Beinart. After watching Mamdani versus Cuomo, any smart Democrat thinking about running for president in 2028 should recognize that taking the Biden line on Israel is a political disaster.
And, Dan Pfeiffer, obviously, who's a big... He said, what's happening in New York City is a blaringly loud message to those in the Dem establishment who still cling to old politics, recite focused group talking points, and are too afraid to say what needs to be said. We have a lot to learn from Zohran Mamdani and his campaign.
So, I
would love that.
Well, this is a matter of meeting the voters where they are. The youth vote is for genociding Jews. So go and talk about genociding Jews. And before, seriously, Alice, this is what they're saying.
And the other things that he's for, like
all the free
daycare.
Yes.
I'm going to freeze your rents. I'm going to set up communist government-run grocery stores. He's going to destroy New York City. Right, like he's defund. He's a big defund the police guy. So
yes,
that's
absolutely.
a big one, obviously. So the lessons from that, they want that they feel that that's the solution to their energy problem nationally, which is really bad. And so a few things. One is that I think they've been forced into this position because so many rational people have left their party that their voters do want this. Like someone like this could win a Democratic primary in 2028.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
So, I mean, they could have an AOC or this guy or whatever. Or someone crazier. I mean, like they could get somebody really out there. And the thing is, like, I don't know what will ever make them understand that that's like not going to work for normal swing state voters in Pennsylvania and Michigan.
Well, right. And it's never going to. As a matter of fact, it's not going to work for purple districts in New York State. This is not the way. This whole movement here that we've got young people who are pro-Luigi, pro-Hamas. I mean, yes, if you want to capture that in a bottle, you will get exciting younger candidates because young people, young Democrats love this, but it's a freaking dark place you're going. It is a dark freaking place that these people are going to do this. It's like, we can win. All we have to do is sell the Jews out.
Okay.
And then give away college debt forgiveness and all this other... all the social stuff that this guy wants to do. By the way, these people who are voting for him, they don't need this. They would love to have the college debt removed because it makes them feel anxious, remember, as we've talked about. Mm-hmm. And they can't feel anxious. That's the worst thing in the world. They want the college debt removed. But they also, by the way, don't mind that debt being saddled on to the rest of working Americans. They claim they're doing this out of fairness. They're not. They're doing it for themselves.
Of course. It's a pure selfishness. Splash in the chat says NYC is going to be an amazing dumpster fire. It's going to get so bad they'll put up a wall to stop the millionaires from leaving. Yeah, and the billionaires, because New York actually has those. I mean, Bloomberg put something like $8 million into a Cuomo super PAC. They really tried, and now they're stuck with Adams. So there's a bunch of movers and shakers now trying to donate to Adams and stuff, but he's basically like not campaigning at this point.
Isn't he independent?
Yeah.
He's still in it, right? I mean, no,
Yeah, it's going to be, there's Sliwa.
Right. He should drop out.
There's Adams, and there's
I like Sliwa, but he should
guy.
drop out.
But, I mean, like, is that going to make that big a difference?
Anybody who, like, I think Adams is the only chance you have now. Although you heard that Cuomo just tonight said that he might think about being an independent.
They don't have like a sore loser law or anything anymore. I don't know. But I mean, he probably should think about it, but I don't know if that's enough. You know, this was essentially the general election because New York is like this, you know?
Right.
And so this is I don't know. I don't know if any of them has a shot against this guy because there's so many Democrats there.
Right.
Even with the rightward shift of like minorities, and you know, Mark brought up that it's like the most Jewish city in America, and like, are they really going to elect this globalized the Antifada guy? Like,
yeah, but he's doing well with a lot of Jews.
Well, yeah, like younger liberal Jews, but I think also the most Jewish city in America is like still not that Jewish.
Sure.
Like, what percent of the population are realistically Jewish people in New York?
I don't know. I'm sure it's somewhere, but it's the biggest Jewish city I thought outside of Tel Aviv. So, John Fetterman.
But it's a really big city.
Yes, I know. John Fetterman says I describe it as Christmas in July for the GOP. Mom, daddy's.
12% of New York City's population is Jewish. So like that's high because Jewish people are like 1 or 2% of the U.S. population, obviously, but it's like not necessarily enough to tip the election if the whatever percent Democratic city. I mean, like, and the thing is, Adams is just so politically damaged at this point. He's such a dummy.
I love him more than ever. I mean, well, he'd be great if he won. That's great because he's owned by Trump.
But so's Cuomo. Politically damaged, and that's the other reason I think Democrats shouldn't draw any big lessons about like Mamdani's great policy choices.
Well,
is that I do think his campaign was well run and had energy, but Cuomo literally killed a bunch of people like less than 5 years ago.
Well, yeah, but that's not. I think they like that. I think they like that because he told them what to do, and it was like a daddy figure, and that was good.
Sure, but
I think that they don't like the fact that
he had to resign and was groping women.
He made heterosexual advances on women. That's the problem, and so that's why that voter yesterday we played said.
But politically, like the guy who just a couple years ago resigned in disgrace from the governorship of your state probably is not the most energizing candidate.
He's also sucks. He's boring and dull, and he's just not very good.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think even with the political damage in a general election, Cuomo would be a better choice than a lot of the psychos that the left is trying to tell me they're going to run in 2028. Don't you think?
Yes.
I think he's better than a lot of them, but he's probably not able to win any kind of Democratic Party on the left now because they've moved so far.
Ron Death Sentence has weighed in on this.
I want to issue a friendly warning to New Yorkers considering moving to Florida in light of recent events. First, we are digging a moat along Florida's border and putting alligators in it to separate ourselves from the others. Second, we're implementing a 1% entry tax, where your money will be put towards Florida's infrastructure. Third, if you're tired of the protesters in New York, you can plow right through them here.
I'm assuming this is AI Ron DeSantis, but I do like it anyway. This is the Jim Cramer morning show talked about this as well.
It is not the closing of a steakhouse that David Zaslav likes to, and you like to go to. Well, you and I have had dinner there a few times.
Yes. And you and I are going to recreate that place.
The rent's too high. You know what? The new mayor, potentially, of New York is going to freeze the rents, and everybody eats for free, so they don't have to worry.
Really?
Yeah.
But how about the rich?
No.
Do they get shot?
No, yes. They get taken away.
Are we kulaks?
Yes, they get taken
away.
We have to go.
In 23?
We have to leave now. But everybody else, there he is. Mom Donnie.
Maybe he's more moderate
winning
than we
the
think.
Democratic primary for mayor and potentially the successor of Eric Adams. That said, there's still a general election to come here in New York. By the way, of course, we're here. We talk about it, but we are talking about a $2 trillion economy. It's not nothing.
It is a,
he wants to get the rents down. One good way to do it is to stop all business and drive everybody out. That'll bring the rents down.
That's a very good point. Right? Go to Jersey.
And raise the crime rate. That will help, too.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Let me see. Before we move to the media, this is tough time.
Well, I want to do NATO, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Trump stuff. Okay, we can do that now if you want.
But you can do your thing first.
Okay,
I just don't want you to cut to the chat.
I'm not going to. Here's CNN forced to give some stock market news.
We're just minutes away from the closing bell on Wall Street, and the S&P 500 closed yesterday on the cusp of a record high. Right now, kind of flatlining, down just a teensy-weensy bit. CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich joins us now with more. Vanessa, this is really impressive given where the market was not that long ago.
Yeah, really a remarkable story on Wall Street. We've been watching the S&P very closely all day as it has been flirting with a new record, the last one set back in February. But it is remarkable because at the low of the S&P, it had shed $9.8 trillion in April, almost entering bear market territory. And it's nearly now recovered all of its losses. And just look at the markets. You see the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ on your screen. That dramatic V-shaped drop and then recovery. I was talking to Chief Investment Strategist Sam Stovall of CFRA, who told me that usually it takes about 4 months for markets to enter the low and then another 4 months for a recovery to get back to even. That happened in half the time. So it really is remarkable. And essentially investors, what they have seen is that after the 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs and after the tariff rates on China were reduced from 145% to 30%, they really believe that the fear of a recession was taken off the table, and that maybe
I think the markets...
maybe you guys shouldn't have been panicking.
Yeah. I think that the market likes Trump, and investors like Trump, small business people like Trump. They like him because they feel they can get the energy from him, that he legit wants to win in business in this country.
Yeah, and you know who else, crazy enough, seems to really like Trump is all the world leaders at NATO. Who have all,
before you go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. Go ahead.
Who have been loving Trump while they're there. Do you have any of the ones that I sent us of the, I forget what his title is, the NATO guy praising Trump effusively.
Calling him his daddy?
I don't know if I saw that one.
Hold on. These are from hours ago, so let me get back up there. I have Trump at NATO.
Again. Sending you one again.
Okay. Yeah, these are. It's funny the way Alice and I do this. It starts at very early in the morning. So by the time we've sent each other like 50 different things.
I know. So it ends up like far back in the thing.
Yeah, there. Here we go. This is his NATO guy.
But I think he's a good friend, and
you sent another one.
When he is doing stuff which is forcing us to, for example, when it comes to making more investments. I mean, would you ever think that this would be the result of this summit if he would not have been re-elected president? Do you really think that 7 or 8 countries who said, yes, somewhere in the 2030s we might meet the 2%, we've now all decided in the last 4 or 5 months to get to 2%? So doesn't he deserve some praise? And when it comes to Iran, the fact that he took this decisive action, very targeted, to make sure that Iran would not be able to get its hands on a nuclear capability, I think he deserves all the praise.
That guy is a guy who knows how to make Donald Trump like it.
Play the next one that I sent to.
Before I go to spending, I just want to recognize your decisive action on Iran.
Thank you.
You're a man of strength, but you're also a man of peace. And the fact that you are now also successful in getting this ceasefire done between Israel and Iran, I really want to commend you for that. And I think this is important for the whole world. Then on spending, it's absolutely true. I want to state here, without President Trump, this would not have happened. In 3 stages. When you became president in 2016, 2017, you forced Europeans and Canadians to pay more. At this moment, the result of that phase is $1 trillion extra aggregate defense spending by the Canadians and the Europeans. Then came phase 2, when you became president in January last year. Phase 2 is that all other countries, not yet on 2%, have now committed to the 2%. This is the old goal from Wales in 2014. 7 were not on 2%. Some were saying somewhere in the 2030s. Now this year, all of them, including Canada, including Italy, including Belgium, they have all now committed to the 2%. And now comes the big splash. Today, we will decide to go to 5%. We have to keep ourselves safe for our adversaries, but also because it is fair to equalize with the United States. With this 5%, the Europeans and the Canadians will equalize their defense spending with the United States. So this is not about American taxpayers paying more. This is about Europeans, Canadians paying more. And again, this would not have happened. I'm really saying this here. And some people might criticize me, but then when I speak with them, they all say, yes, you're right. This would not have happened if you would not have been elected in 2016 and re-elected last year and back into office in January. So I want to thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
So obviously, like I said, I tweeted up, this is the AP splash. It was live updates. NATO leaders agree to mutually increase defense spending. That's an absolute and total Trump win. Obviously,
yeah, and can you imagine
one
all
more
the
thing I
people
want to play
telling
here
us that
is
he was gonna like separate us from our allies and like leave all of Europe to Putin.
Trump has
and all
actually
this
asked
stuff.
about this. Oh wait, it's not coming through yet. Let me see if I can find it here. Come on, T-Unit. Trump was asked about. Okay, Trump was asked about this a little bit later. This is on my TikTok, Alice.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No?
But
He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own without...
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning.
So, we talk about, women voters wanting the government to be their dad, and that's why they loved Cuomo before they hated him, because, he's such a... So the women voters are like European socialists, that they also want a daddy figure, and apparently Trump is feeling that perfectly. I think it's great. I think Trump has hit a stride here, and once again, it was.
Are you sick of winning yet?
Once again, it was because of him looking at the fire and the hurricane coming at him and just standing there and not caring. Just doesn't care. I want to set up give us, by the way, some plaudits too, Allison. Mm-hmm. We talked yesterday about this story of the person who was taken, lady who had a stillborn baby because ice made her sleep on the ground of her prison cell. Mm-hmm. And because and they didn't care and give her any
medical aid
because they're mean and they love this. Trisha McLaughlin,
you like her, I know,
attractive Trisha McLaughlin, who works at
DHS. Is that what she works for?
Yeah, Home Security. Yep. Says absolutely false that she had full medical prenatal care. We have a documentation to show it. Diana Montesero Limas, 37, is a citizen of Guatemala who's been arrested multiple times for child abuse and is wanted on active warrant for homicide. This is the person.
Why do they always pick these hills to die on? Every time. You don't even need to even talk about the story in advance, because you can just assume that if they decide to go to bat for some illegal immigrant saying
But
a
just
bunch
something
of
of many people of the
It's going to turn
left.
out to be like the worst person alive.
And
like
we looked into it and saw that it was a Spanish magazine activist publication that wrote it at first. But Juliet Kayyem and all these people, Obama bros,
I can't believe
they didn't bother looking at all. It's freaking amazing. Amazing. All right, now should we go to the chat?
Let's head to the chat. I'm hoping Billy has some feedback on the theory. Theory that was floated yesterday.
Here we go. It's a big. If this is him, if this is Angry Bill, this is radio history.
Wow.
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey, Billy.
I was listening. I'm a couple of days late on this one, so sorry. But Tom was talking about how he was defending a woman at his work from a bully. He would not reveal her identity. He was adamant about that. But he did say she was Southeast Asian and may or may not have been in a country that the United States occupied sometime in the 70s in a war. So, there happens to be about 1.7 million Vietnamese. I'm pretty sure her identity is safe, Tom. Thanks for the hints, though.
Good detective work, Billy. Maybe that's right. Maybe that is right.
Hey, folks, I just wanted to ask a question. Should we still go on to Apple and rate the 3 podcasts if we're now Patreon members to give you guys a little boost over there?
It does help theoretically.
Yeah, please.
You never mentioned that. I mean, I've been listening on the Patreon app, but I still get updates on the Apple podcast thing. And so what I'll do is I'll either listen live or on Patreon and then just go over to Apple and mark it as played and then give it stars.
Thanks, Dr. Cheswick.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
great.
You never said that.
They say people who do this stuff say that the ratings help things do better on Apple. I don't know. And Spotify too. And there's comments on Spotify. I have to teach you how to log in and look at the Spotify comments because
comments during the show?
Comments like on the episodes, people make comments.
Oh,
that
okay.
you can
I should do
respond
that.
to. Like on YouTube, where each video can have a comment section.
We should read as many comments from as many places as possible.
Okay, well, I'll give it to you, and you can pick ones to read or whatever.
We should do that, right? Because we want to get it as popular as we can, so it's rated, so Tom can afford to buy a lawnmower or a car or something else that he's going to break and then he can't fix, and then he has to force Alice to fix and whatever.
To that lawnmower, as a matter of fact, even though the belt doesn't work anymore because there was that one bolt that I didn't put back. Apparently, it's the bolt that makes the belt work. My excuses are over tomorrow, Alice. This grass is now 1.5 feet long, and I am pushing that baby manually tomorrow. So look for me.
What's the weather tomorrow? Is it going to be hot?
It's less like this.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I recognize that. I recognize that noise. You hear that? That's okay, Sally. It's okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got me. I'm a movie star now. Oh, my God.
Is that an admission? Is that confirmation? We're not, but you guys can blow the lid. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, Tom from Thomason here.
Hey, Tom.
Thomas.
Yes.
If I agree with your buddy, Michael Graham.
Yep.
That Trump is definitely a new planet that the other planets orbit around.
Yes.
But I would have to say, if liver tasted as good as Trump's policies have been good, give me a big plate of liver. I'll eat it.
For the whole context, listen to the Shattuck show today. But yes, that's what he is saying, is that like people are just into it.
Normally speaking, I'm with Tom about a lot of things. Could not be more opposite in his grocery store parking takes.
Oh, this is Replica Shattuck, by the way.
Parking in the lane that is just outside the parking places, parking in a fire lane, parking in a handicap spot. That is not for go-getters.
Incorrect.
Handicap spots are for handicap people.
I didn't say the handicap spots are for go-getters. But there are people like Michael Graham who park there because he says there's way too many allocated and they're always empty. So that's not a me thing.
Fire lanes are for fire trucks.
Oh, cut the crap. If a fire breaks out in the middle of the store, I will move the car before the fire truck gets there. Come on, Replica.
Spaces outside the parking spaces are not for go-getters. That's for lazy, fat pieces of shit.
How dare you?
And they should be shamed at every turn.
How dare you?
Same with the losers that don't bring their carts back. They should be shamed at every turn.
Now, I agree with that, although Tim from Canton does not. He does not. He thinks it's a good jobs program for low-paid employees to go hustle those carts. I think that you should return your cart to a carriage canal unless you got it from somewhere else. So if it's half up on some curb somewhere, you don't have to bring it back. You can return it to that curb.
And poor Alice had to act like she didn't know which one was worse because her husband does this bullshit.
That is...
Stop, Tom. Be a better guy. All right? 1 minute even.
He's right. I have learned, life has made me this way. I used to follow the rules, and I was always a schmuck who lost out. And I have learned through years and years, decades, Alice. I've been shopping at places for almost 4 decades. And I have learned that efficiency requires one to be a rugged individualist, and that is why I do these things. And I do it not for myself, nay, but for my family, so that if I can somehow make things more efficient and quick, and what's it? Lobby coordinator. We used to have a word for. In the Parker House, for like 2 years ago, we hired these guys who were lobby, not a facilitator, but a guy who makes things quicker. Lobby, not a coordinator, a lobby...
Expediter?
I think it might have been a lobby expediter. Maybe it was an expediter. I'm making it more expeditious is what I'm doing. So my family can have food and sustenance, and if more husbands stepped up like I did, then there would be a lot less hate and death in this country.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you're going to do now that you don't have a job? Is you're just going to like steal from us and illegally park for us?
I feel like I'm being laughed at, Alice.
So bye, New York City will die.
Yep.
They pulled the lever for the commie, now enjoy your bread lines. Them good old days Rudy worked hard to provide are gone now. New York voted for suicide.
Hear, hear. We are proponents of... What kind of songs are those?
Parody songs.
Parody songs. We are proponents. Alice likes the original song and will tell you all about the symbolism in that original song if you'd like to.
I love that.
Is there anything symbolic happening in that song? Go ahead, tell us a little bit.
No, I'm not going to talk to you now.
Who's Miss American Pie?
I'm not talking to you.
What's the
I'm
levy?
not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Okay. It's one of her favorite things. Well, it actually meant jumping jack flash in a candlestick actually means...
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey, Billy.
I was listening to a shot of Shattuck, a fifth of Shattuck, whatever. This was the Jersey Turnpike shot of Shattuck today with Michael Graham on. I mean, this is pathetic.
What?
He's pathetic.
Yes.
Tom, you're pathetic for having him on. It's perfect. I'd rather be a jobless DJ in Connecticut than have a talk show in New Hampshire like this guy. What a clown.
He does not have a talk show in New Hampshire. He publishes the New Hampshire Journal, which
is that part of Inside Sources, or is Inside Sources part of it?
A lot of people asked me that today. Inside Sources is the parent company, so it includes New Hampshire Journal, DC Journal, and like Philly Journal. So there's 3 of those there.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
I saw today that Christopher Nolan has cast Elliot Page in his huge new film, The Odyssey.
It's so upsetting.
I'm really excited for this movie. I was wondering what I was going to do while waiting for my next canker sore. Thank you.
I'm so upset. Don't get me started.
Why are we playing along? Like Elliot Page is a walking memorial to Ellen Page, who was tragically struck with insanity and peer pressure and social contagion.
I don't know which is worse, like that or Britney.
Britney's far better off. Far better off. I'm still upset about AOC. Are you ready for this also? Come up with a moniker for AOC.
I saw AOBs online.
Shit,
People
I guess I didn't come up with a moniker for AOC. God damn it.
Well, you came up with it independently, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
damn it.
But I did see people using that. Trish is mentioning the cookout in the chat. Make sure you RSVP burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com if you want a spot more than half full now. We'd love to see you there July 19th, rain date the 20th. And if we don't see you at that, we will see you in the Patreon chat or in the comments or wherever.